Today is Earth Day, and while Canadians are no strangers to the impact of climate change, it's a subject that's taken a bit of a backseat throughout this election. So today, Roger Collins brings us a special story examining the four main political parties and their proposed climate policies. Roger.
Emily, whether it's carbon pricing, oil and gas, nature, conservation, etc., all four of Canada's major political parties have different ideas on what best suits the country's needs, some of which might surprise you. Whether it was raging wildfires in Jasper, the torrential flooding in the GTA, or the historic ice storm that rocked Orillia, Peterborough, and the surrounding region, it's been a big year for Canada's climate. And yet, as the country's federal leaders travel from coast to coast in a bid to win your vote, environmental policy hasn't exactly been front and center, especially since Mark Carney nixed the federal consumer price on carbon. Which I should mention means today is the last time you'll get a carbon rebate payment. Anyways, there's a lot to look at, so let's get started. While Carney essentially removed the consumer carbon tax, he says his government would keep it in place for large industry, a total opposite from what Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has proposed.
There will be no taxes on consumers, no taxes on Canadian industries. Instead, provinces will continue to have the freedom to address this issue how they like, but there will be no federal obligation to impose the tax.
NDP leader Jagmeet Singh's platform is similar to Carney's in wanting to cancel it for consumers and maintain it for industry. However, he has the addition of promising to create a border carbon adjustment, a plan aimed at preventing overseas polluters from undercutting clean Canadian industry. All the while, the Green Party has said it would create strict science-based limits that cap the country's total pollution while gradually increasing the carbon price starting in 2030. When it comes to critical minerals, there's one particular subject that stands out more than others.
It's called the Ring of Fire, and it could make Canada very rich.
Located 500 kilometers north of Thunder Bay, the Ring of Fire is a vast mineral-rich region. Poilievre has promised to greenlight all federal permits for the area within 6 months, while Carney has promised to speed up environmental assessments of national significance.
Then none of this can happen unless we work in collaboration with Indigenous communities.
As for Quebec and the Bloc, it stands firm in its belief that the federal government has no say in its mineral rights and has gone on record saying it will continue to develop its battery industry. One topic that's got a lot of attention this election cycle is Canada's vast north, specifically Arctic sovereignty, with both frontrunners making promises to expand resource extraction, military expansion, and shipping in the region. But a recent article from the Narwhal, a Canadian online magazine with a focus on environmental issues, makes another unsettling forecast.
Any of those proposals will have huge environmental impacts. They also can't be done without Inuit consent.
And while all the parties talk a big game, only the Liberals, NDP, and Green Party have committed to upholding the United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People. What about pipelines?
Both of the frontrunners, so the Liberal Party and the Conservatives, are both saying that they would build new pipelines. The NDP are talking about an east-west energy corridor and being, I think, a bit coy about what exactly that means to them. And then the Greens and the Bloc Québécois are saying no new pipelines.
Last but not least, the need for disaster preparation and assistance seems to be growing year after year. Take the Jasper wildfire, for example, which damage costs are now over $1 billion, mainly due to a lack of resources, workers, and delays.
So I will say that the only party that does not have disaster preparedness in their platform are the Conservatives. And I mean, that's something, across Canada, we had the worst wildfires ever 2 years ago. There's flooding across the country. There are places in Quebec where people can't get flooding insurance. And that's something I think that will affect more Canadians every year.
So this Earth Day, as the promises keep coming, the real question is who's got a plan that works and who's just burning fuel? We'll be watching.